I love superheroes. So let's talk about it. Hey guys. So, it's been a while, but that's not the point. The point of today's video is superheroes. So if you love them, if you hate them, mostly if you love them, if you hate them, I don't understand why you clicked this video, but whatever. It's fine. Just probably some spoiler warnings for Superman and Fantastic Four. Um, Not sure yet. Coming up with the script as we go. So yeah. Uh Sorry for the randomness. Anywho, I know, brand new uh Gamerman content. I know it's crazy. I never do this anymore. I don't have time. I do have time. It's just that uh there's a thing called depression. Depression's one. Um, but you can thank the new microphone for new gaming content because I wouldn't have made this video without motivation. So yeah. So today we're going to be talking about superheroes and we're going to be splitting it up into three sections. Number one, we're going to be talking about the powers. You know, why is it that like people like Superman and stuff have such a vast range of powers, and why is that interesting to us? The second thing we're going to talk about is the suits. Why is it that all these suits have become so iconic, so synonymous with everyone today? And the third thing we're going to be talking about is the themes. I know. That's what everyone always wants to talk about with every superhero thing, the themes. But I mean that's kind of why we make superhero movies and make uh comics to explore certain themes that really couldn't be explored anywhere else or any way else. So let's get to part numero uno. Okay. The superheroes have been around since like the 30s and the 40s, so it's actually quite strange that we've been talking about them so long. So, powers. The very first superhero, Superman, kind of, sort of. I mean, you can Google it, I'm not quite sure. Superman has the power to bend steel, basically. He can fly, he can shoot laser out of his eyes. You know Superman. You know who Superman is. But Superman had, before the golden age of comics, he basically could do anything. He could do anything. Powers are a big thing with all superheroes. You have people with no superpowers like Batman, uh, Tony Stark. Gotta give Marvel a little love because I have not been talking about Marvel like at all. But I'll start talking about them once they start making better movies. But then you have people like Thor, who's literally a god. Like that's not an exaggeration. He's a god. He's literally a god. You also have Hercules in the same universe as Thor, which is a little strange. Whatever. Powers are so interesting because you can literally think of anything you want and just put that on a person. Take Darwin from X-Men. He literally can survive anything by adapting to it. That's crazy. That means he's immortal. Take Plastic Man. He can literally stretch out into anything. He's basically one of the strongest people in all of the DC universe, which is crazy. But we idolize the fact that they have powers. Why? And I think that's been explored with people like Batman, Booster Gold, Punisher. But a lot of these people don't have powers. But yet they're still really interesting, which is the strangest thing. And I think that kind of leads us to point number two, the super suit. The super suit is probably the most iconic part of any superhero ever. Like, hands down, it's not the themes, it's not the powers, it's the suit. If you don't have an inspiring suit, you're not probably going to have an interesting character. That being said, there are plenty of characters who don't have too interesting of suits. Take again the Punisher. Punisher didn't really have an interesting suit. Take actually, this is a good one. Jay Garrick. He just has a hat and jeans and and red shirt with the lightning bolt on it. That's it. That's all he has. But yet, it's so iconic. The cap. It's that's what tells you. For Punisher, it's the skull on the chest. It's iconic. The ability to recognize characters just from the logo on their chest. Superman, Batman, Batman in many forms. Can I talk? I'm gonna talk about this for a second. Batman has had so many logos. He has literally had probably the most logos ever. Like it's literally the same bat or different bats, but it's still the same character. But yet you recognize each era of his symbol. And it's kind of the same with Superman. You have the Zack Snyder, you have the Christopher Reeves, you have now James Gunn. Um, it's all so iconic, so memorable. This, I don't know if you guys know this. This is Alan Alan Stewart. I'm so sorry to all the nerds out there. I'm drawing a blank on his name. I think it's Alan Stewart. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. Green Lantern. His symbol is recognizable. Not this one, but like the actual, Green Lantern Corps symbol. This is just, an actual Green Lantern. Costumes are so recognizable. The logos are so recognizable. And it catches your attention just like that. It makes you want to to keep reading because it grabs your attention. Since it grabs your attention so well, you're gonna want more and more and more. And I think that's why what's interesting though is that people like the Avengers, Tony Stark barely has a real logo, sometimes it's his Iron Man helmet, sometimes the arc reactor, sometimes it's just him. I don't understand that. But like I think the only one on the Avengers, like from the 2012 movie, who has a recognizable symbol is Captain America because his symbol is his shield. But those logos are from the suits. Usually. Usually. It's one of the reasons why I love superheroes the most. I love suit design. I love the way superhero suits look. Like Wally West's costume. I side tangent. Side tangent. Uh, Wally West and Barry Allen's suit, I love it when they're different. Like Wally West's outfit, it has just the one lightning bolt, where Barry's has like the three, and I love that. Love- I love suits. I love super suits so much. That was about to be the entire video, just me talking about super suits, and that's way lamer than talking about superheroes in general. So I went with superheroes. All right. Sorry. Side tangent over. Let's get back to the third theme, but it's also not the third theme because when we were recording, I thought of a better third theme and fourth theme. So we're gonna do that. All right. The next thing we're talking about is going to not be themes, not quite yet. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. But we're gonna talk about the fights. Superheroes are notorious for having big, super awesome battles in comics. You literally have, uh, and I'm talking fights as in like action in general. So like there's a lot of action in comics. Take the Hulk pushing two tectonic plates together because he's the Hulk, baby. Take Superman moving a planet. He moves a planet. James Gunn, he better move a planet soon. Al- Sorry, side tangent. Let's go on another side tangent real quick. I thought Superman in spoilers for Superman, the the one that just came out. I thought Superman didn't have to breathe. I thought I thought that since he just draws his power from the sun, he doesn't need to breathe. That's why he goes into space so often and he's just fine. I I really thought I really thought that it was just I thought he didn't need to breathe. And I don't know if I'm wrong. Someone please fact check me in the comments because I would love to know that. So yeah, side tangent over. Fighting in comics happened a lot. Let's actually break it open to Invincible. Invincible has probably some of the best fights I have seen from superheroes in a long time. Like those fights are beautiful. Like when Mark is savagely beating his head against Conquest just to kill him. Amazing. Superb. You can also Invincible. Stop. Stop. You need more of a budget. You need more budget than just the two final episodes. And when they're having a big fight, you need to s- like look at the first season compared to the second and third season. You start look at Avatar: The Last. Has nothing to do with superheroes anymore. But look at Avatar: The Last Airbender. They started with really poor animation, and then they got better over time. Invincible should have done that. The problem is they started with great animation, and then they went downhill, and it just keep your expectations low, and then you rise them over time. That's what think the trick is. Sorry, side tangent over. We have had action and blows in comics and movies since Adam West with Pow Zang, right in the kisser. And it's such an integral part that, we put these people up against each other. It's honestly really interesting. And I think that's another reason why people are so drawn to it because it shows how powerful some people are. Some people love just getting a power trip from looking at heroes and superheroes and stuff. I am one of those people. I love seeing a good like big punches, like someone super powerful going against someone not as powerful, I love it. But yeah, I think that's another reason why we're so drawn to them. And I'm sorry for not adding this part in the beginning. Sorry. Now, let's move on to the final thing. The themes. I don't have any more EC shirts, so it's just gonna be more Marvel shirts. Sorry. The themes. This is probably the most integral part of any superhero story. If you're not telling if you're telling a story and you're not giving a theme for the entire reason why you're telling that story, I don't think there's a reason to be telling the story. It comes up a lot in movies and TV shows and all that stuff, but the theme is the most important part of anything. Anything. It's why you're writing this piece. Is it for entertainment alone? Is it for to show the darker aspects of humanity? Or is it just to see people get the shit beat out of them? Now, The Boys is an interesting one to bring up because the comic version is definitely not the TV version. The comic version is way worse than the TV version. The TV version actually focuses on certain themes, like what it would be like for someone to actually have powers and for someone to be controlled by a corporation. It's also to show the problem with corporations. And the themes in the comic are just let's beat the crap out of a bunch of villains, and because they're all pieces of crap. There's no moral gray. They all suck. There's no hypocrisy when Butcher sticks Huey with some temporary V. In the show, there is so much to think about. Mother's Milk, MM, talks about how hypocritical it is of Butcher to do this. You're becoming a soup. You become exactly what you're fighting against. Yeah, and that is probably the most interesting part of all of it. The themes are what make a superhero story good. And I think that's why I loved Superman so much. This Let's get into something more appropriate for this talk. Much better. I loved Superman. I was one of those people who always thought that Superman was overrated. Because I didn't understand the character. I didn't understand why he was so important, why he was such a good guy. I thought the only way to make Superman, I have said this to people, the only way to make Superman interesting is to either make him evil or make him a parent. And I am so glad I was wrong. I am so happy to have realized I was wrong. Superman is so good. It's such a good movie, especially when you watch it over and over again and you start to realize the true themes of it. You start to realize that this movie is supposed to talk about hope, and it does. It succeeds at telling a story where Guy is just an old like someone who believes in good with all his heart. And he wants there to be good. He wants there to be good in the world. And I love that movie. I really love that movie. That's why, most likely, when I saw Fantastic Four, I wasn't as happy because it didn't show me that there was hope that people could, become better than they were. It showed me what many, 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 many movies have done before. It shows me that family matters. And I think that it's it don't get me wrong. Fantastic Four was a good movie. It was a great movie. It was just a bit too fast for me. It was a bit too it felt like things just kept going and there was no time to breathe. And I feel somewhat the same with Superman. But God, it could have told us such a good story. And I was a bit disappointed for the Doomsday thing. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean, but I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't want this to be a breakdown of Fantastic Four. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed, if I had to be honest. If I don't, I just Superman has raised the bar for superhero movies. It has. Because James Gunn, David Cornswat, uh, all I forget all the other names for all the actors. I'm so sorry, but It's not like you're gonna see this, but they understand these characters. They understand it. And I've seen now that like reports of the actors aren't allowed to read comics in for the Doomsday movie and Secret Wars movie, which is crazy because we're back to X-Men in 2001 where no one like the director didn't want people to read the source material. It's the source material. Sorry, the themes. When you compare the two themes of Fantastic Four and Superman, I think Superman does better. It does much better because it shows us that there is hope, that there is hope in the world. And I'm not even going to get into the themes of humanity and why uh we watch these superheroes because it shows either the best in humanity or the absolute worst in humanity. Superheroing cannot be the theme. It cannot be that, hey, these superheroes are cool. That's not a theme. That's not the reason why you made this movie. Hopefully, that's not the reason why you made this movie. It should be about people. Why do we look up to these people? To Spider-Man, to Batman, to Superman, to Iron Man, to Thor, to Captain America, to all these people. Why do we look up to them? Because we can connect with them. Because we can understand them. Because they give us something to aspire to. And it's gonna sound dumb, but I have hope now from the Superman movie. I have hope for the future. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Uh, hopefully my next video will not take that much time to make. Thank you all so much for watching. Uh, I'm probably gonna be MIA again for a while because that's what I always do. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys whenever I make another video. And remember, sometimes you just need to look up. But I'm not going yet because I was making sure the mic was good. Thank you, Eric. The mic's cutting you out because you're so Oh God. No.
You're just going off the cuff?
Yep.
But you're not like.
That's my style.
I know, but like, you do better when you write first.
Well, yeah, but like I don't want.
Does it help that like you're just a massive tool?
There's gonna be a whole part in the ending of this video that's just gonna be dedicated to you interrupting.
What? Did we record?
Yes!
That's where
Yes!
That's cool. That's cool.
Get out. Get out.
I love you, Kaden. You're my little buddy.
No, there's
It's my little bubble.
there's been too much footage of just you. Oh my God.